Hey guys, Galactic Knight here. Did you hear that the writer of Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad helped make a video game about a cheerleader fighting zombies with a chainsaw? Let's see what he does with Superman. So yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw is definitely a game worth talking about, but it isn't worth being called a mind freak game. Okay, it's a Pseudo 51 game, and if you haven't ever played one of those, they're mostly leaning towards the high action, fan service, pervy side of gaming. What I mean is that the game is an action hack and slash game with a bit of fan service. It stars a high school cheerleader named Juliet, voiced by Tara Strong, as she gets ready to celebrate her 18th birthday. But then a zombie outbreak happened while on her way to school, and finding them off on her way to her boyfriend Nick, voiced by Michael Rosenbaum. But he gets bit by a zombie, and the only way to save his life is to decapitate his head and use a spell to keep him alive. I don't know how that works, but it's Pseudo 51. Anything from that gaming company is random. Later, it turns out that an evil goth named Swan, voiced by Sean Gunn, has summoned 5 intelligent zombies called the Dark Purveyors. Again, I don't know how someone would create that, but this is from the same company that made Destroy Man. And it's up to Juliet and Nick to save the world from a zombie apocalypse. So yeah, to begin, this game is definitely tons of fan service. Mostly around the main character, Juliet. I want to talk about this first because, one, her movesets as a cheerleader, battle motif, and some motifs I really don't want to mention on YouTube. Second, some of the characters tend to hit on her. She even has a perverted Sensei Roshi character. Third, there's an achievement involving the player to rotate the camera under Juliet's skirt. And weirdly enough, the voice actor of Juliet, Tara Strong, actually uses the same voice she uses for Twilight Sparkle. Now I can't get that image out of my head.
I never learned to read!
Okay, now that I got that stuff out of my system, let's talk about the rest of the game. Like any Pseudo 51 game, the hack and slash gameplay is fun to fool around with. The gamers have Juliet fight through hordes of zombies with her iconic chainsaw. And now I want to look up fan art of Twilight Sparkle with a chainsaw. At certain points in the game, Nick's head can be attached to a decapitated zombie's body, during which the player will rhythmically press buttons in order to have him move about and clear the way for Juliet, which is an interesting mechanic for a zombie game. Plus, throughout the game, Juliet can collect lollipops for health, making the title of the game legitimate. Juliet can also obtain gold medals that can be earned by defeating zombies, smashing objects, and rescuing classmates, which Juliet can purchase new moves and combos, as well as items that can increase her stats. And then there's a special state in that which she fills up the star meter, which powers up her chainsaw, allowing her to defeat her enemies. And speaking of zombies, the designs of the bosses and the boss battles are pretty amazing. Each boss and boss battle are based off around different aspects of music centered on themes of rock and roll. Zed represents punk rock, Vicky represents Viking metal, Mariska represents psychedelic rock, Josie represents funk, and Louis Legend, of course, represents rock and roll. Now, if only they had a zombie for classic rock. Speaking of music, this game has an amazing list of original and licensed music, licensed by the likes of Skrillex, Five Finger Death Punch, Dragon Force, and Tony Basil, just to name a few. Nothing better than fighting zombies listening to Hey Mickey. Yeah, we wanted to play Hey Mickey over scenes of people fighting zombies, but we don't want to get demonetized using copyright music. And to be honest, what I really like about this game is the story and characters, with a cast of characters like Juliet and her family, and of course the bosses having personalities that are enjoyable to watch. And even though this is a Pseudo 51 game, you can definitely tell James Gunn has his hands all over this game. Not only has James Gunn worked on several superhero projects, but has also worked on the screenplays of Dawn of the Dead and both live-action Scooby-Doo movies. So he's definitely a good writer. Yes, I saw the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. What about it?
We're here to solve a mystery.
Rory.
Plus, aside from Tara Strong, there are other famous actors in this game as well. Juliet's boyfriend Nick also has played Martinix in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Hex Girl's Luna, live-action Velma, Wonder Woman, and Hollis Doyle played Juliet's family. Sean Gunn, who played Swan, was also in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies as on-set Rocket and Kraglin. And surprisingly, Kyle Hebert of Dragon Ball fame has also played additional voices in the game. It's also good that James Gunn can get inspiration from this game into his other properties. Like I said before, the cast in this game also got roles in later James Gunn properties. Even the segment with the star pal Juliet uses inspired Harley vision, where gory murders are depicted through Harley Quinn's starry-eyed way of looking at life by mixing hearts and beautiful things with the blood that is coming out of the people Harley is killing. So with that said, is this game perfect? Well, no. There are 3 things holding me back from this game for me, and it's locking the good ending with completion. I hate it when games do this.
A super tedious side quest that preys on every gamer's weakness! The compulsive need to complete every game to 100%.
And like many fans of the original, a lot of people have complained that the licensed music is not in the Repop version of the game. Plus, the Repop version is very censored. Yeah, an M-rated Pseudo-51 game needs to be censored. No one else thinks this is an idiotic decision. All in all, this is definitely a different type of zombie game, which is why I think this game holds up and made a big impact, not only for gamers, but for the zombie media in general. Right up with The Walking Dead, Shaun of the Dead, and yes, Night of the Living Dead. All in all, I would give this game a 7 out of 10 lollipops. Anything else you like or hate about this game? Well, leave them down in the comment section down below and talk about it. I'm Galactic Knight, and I'll see you guys next time.